Just sitting on my dirty underwear.
Is this for your channel?
Yeah.
Okay. What up, duelists? We've got Chuck Newton here, owner of the channel. Yarm420. Change your name to Yarm420. That'd be way better than 240.
Might as well.
What'd you do today, pal?
Today I got top 4 at an OTS championship. Got my invite. Don't have to play this awful format. I can play Speedroids. I can play Battery Man. I don't know what I'm gonna play next.
Let's go. What'd you get it with?
Branded Chimera. I was gonna play Fiendsmith today. Fiendsmith Chimera. I've been testing it online a lot. Testing it, at locals, in person. Found that the brick does brick a lot. Like if you open very specific hands with no access to any of your fusion stuff. So yesterday, today's Saturday. So yesterday, I was talking with my friends. I was recording something for Gil's channel, who is recording right now. Make sure you check him out. Link will be in the description. I decided to play Branded Chimera. The deck is pretty standard. My friend Gil helped me out. There's one or two things that, not really one or two, but there's a thing or two here and there that aren't exactly the same, but it's pretty much just a really standard list. But it's my list. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, let's get into the deck profile.
Alrighty.
Alright, so first we played 3 Cornfield Codal. Pretty standard, one of the best starters in the deck. This format plays into draw a lot. A lot of decks will just activate track, add Lurry, discard Lurry. But this, while it does play into draw, the deck has plays it can make under draw with very specific hands.
Gotta have Chimera Fusion.
Gotta have Chimera Fusion though, which is the only bad thing, or Branded Fusion, but. Yeah, Codal, also targeting negate. It came up a lot today. Opponent try to imperm something. They tried to, target a card I control. But yeah. And then obviously the illusion search is really nice. The search. I used this today. I had a Big Burf, Gazelle in hand, or a Big Burf and Chimera Fusion in hand. I did this, search Gazelle, and then just went full combo from there. Next, the other, this deck plays 20 starters. 3 Mirror Sword Knight.
Why do you play that? Oh my god.
I don't know. I wanted to cut this down to 1. I just didn't like seeing it in my open hand. No, this card is nuts. It being a quick effect really comes up a lot, especially when you have Diabells on board. The great thing about this, it can also negate a Snake Eye Ash or Snake Eye Oak when they send to summon a guy. That came up a little bit today against one of my matches. Yeah. And then obviously, just being an illusion, being a light helps out a lot. Next, 3 Nightmare Apprentice. All these ratios are really standard, but Nightmare Apprentice, another really great starter. It's a dark, so using this and Mirror Sword Knight makes Chaos Angel really easily. And then it's also really big. I had one game against someone where I just needed more damage. I switched the Nightmare Apprentice to attack, swung for lethal, felt really good to do that. Next, we are playing 3 copies of Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws. This one, I had one game where I had to normal summon this to get a Chimera Fusion to go into Rinbrum because I already had Albaz in hand. I didn't win that game. I actually lost. I think that was in my top 4 matchup against Tenpai today. I just didn't open good. Didn't have a way into Chimera Fusion already. Didn't have a way into any of my branded stuff. But this guy, he's okay to summon off a Sword Knight if you already have a Burf in hand. But you're mainly wanting to grab him off of the Big Burf on summon. It's also good if you want to try to do plays that don't lock you. A lot of the decks that are playing the Edgent package will usually summon this, grab.
And what do we say about decks that play the Edgent package?
Decks that play the Edgent package are bad.
You're bad, and you should play Tenpai.
All right. Next. We got 2 Big Burf. This is just really good at 2. I think I saw this once in an opening hand today. And that's when I summoned, I'd summon the Gazelle instead. Yeah, I only saw this once in my opening hand. It's also okay for some really bad hands. Like in the past when I've been playing this deck, I've had really bad hands where I've had to tribute over like an Albion or something to get this guy on board, and my opponent just didn't have anything in response to it. But yeah. Next we have 1 Master Tau, 1 Diabells. These are absolutely the correct ratios. This card just wins games on its own. Master Tau, obviously the main way you're going to be summoning this during your turn. I've had games where I had to summon the Diabells during my opponent's turn with Chimera, and I still won. My game 2 against Tenpai today in Top Cut summoned this. For some reason, he didn't chain Kaiman. Like, he had a Kaiman. He just didn't chain it at all. So he turned off his own Kaiman.
Tenpai players miss playing, shocking.
Yeah, but the guy went on to win the whole event. So he played.
Never mind. Shout out Callan.
Shout out Callan, man. Callan's a real one for real. Next, we are playing 1 Albaz, 1 Light Hexial Fusion. These two aren't exactly Garnets in hand, because the Light Hexial Fusion, if you don't have access to the branded package, can be used for Guardian Chimera if you already have like a big Burf on board. Albaz, it's a fine normal summon. It's like one of the ones you don't want to be normal summoning, but if you have to break the board, you got to do what you got to do. Loved the branded package today. It was extremely nice to be able to summon Dragoon for free, basically. You know, a lot of people when they play the branded stuff, they won't play the Light Hexial Fusion. They'll play like a Dark Magician to get the pop effect to do board wipe stuff. I don't like that, just because if you play Dark Magician, you have to go into Libellion, and Libellion discards, and sometimes, depending on your hand, the deck can struggle to maintain card advantage over your opponent. Like, if my hand was like Branded Fusion, Codal, Chimera Fusion, I have 2 extra cards I could discard, but mainly, I like the Light Hexial Fusion. And if this gets, like, banished or something, you know, I had an opponent today banish this, I just made Mirror Jade instead, you know. And while this guy can become, like, a Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard, like, he can become a Dark Magician, you know, these two just felt really good to play tonight over, like, a Dark Magician. Moving on to hand traps, we are playing 2 Veiler, 2 Droll, 2 Ash. These ratios actually felt really good tonight. There were maybe like 1 or 2 games where I didn't see like one or the other of any of these. Droll was crazy tonight. Used it against Madolce. He couldn't do anything because I already had Dragoon on board, and then my top deck was a normal summon. Veiler's really nice, and then obviously Ash Blossom is insane. I faced 1 Snakes player. He could have made like a Hida or something, but he just didn't, and I dashed him. But moving on to the spells and traps, we are playing 3 Chimera Fusion. Quick play, non-once per turn, just absolutely insane. The add back effect is really nice. And we are also playing 3 Branded Fusion. Here's the other one. Branded Fusion, Ash Bait, it's just really nice to have it. It allows you to make Dragoon during your turn. Also, I've had games, I had a game against a Tenpai player out of locals once where I had to cross out his Branded Fusion because my hand was really bad, and it was his only way to play. 3 Book of Moons. This card didn't really come up a whole lot today, but this is just a really good way to dodge targeting negates. Opponent, you know, Imperm, Veiler, just chain Book of Moon.
Blasphemy, that's Gil's favorite card.
Gil's favorite card.
Spell card. Favorite spell card.
Favorite spell card, other than Engage. But this card didn't come up a whole lot tonight. I probably could have played like another hand trap like Ogre or Dogwood, but I didn't have my Dogwoods today, so. Next, for the final 4 spells, we are playing 3 Crossout, 1 Called By. Shoutout Called by the way, and Crossout. Opened these 2 round 1 of Top Cut against Snake Eye Fiendsmith. He tried to imperm something, chain Crossout, he tried to ogre my Big Berth. I had the called by. His hand was just not good. He bricked. I discarded his only starter. He just couldn't play through my board. I went full combo. I'm talking Diabels, Dragoon, just no chance. And then game 2 against Tenpai, I called by his Shifter, and he just didn't have any more interruption. I went full board. These cards are going to be insane. I wouldn't be surprised if like Crossout got hit to 2, you know, called by. I would be surprised if it got banned, but. And then finally, 3 Imperm. This was the only hand trap I played at 3. I like this at 3 because 1, it's a non-once per turn. 2, it plays into talents really nice. Like if I have 2 of these for my only hand traps, I should say. You know, just plays around talents really well. So next onto the extra deck, we are playing 1 Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel was really good tonight. Made it against Tenpai. He Prospeed. He couldn't beat over it. You know, make it with Nightmare Apprentice, Sword Knight. Can't beat over it. Can't be destroyed by battle. Yeah. Next, we are playing 2 copies of Chimera the Illusion Beast, or the King of Phantom Beasts. Sorry. This is really nice. I like this at 2. It comes up a lot, surprisingly, especially in grind games where your opponent has like 1 or 2 cards in hand. You make the second Phantom Beast, and you discard one of their cards. They're starting their turn with 1 less card in hand. You know, also the fact that this can recur, or like summon back a Diabels as well, or a Sword Knight, or any illusion that can't be destroyed by battle, is really nice, especially against Tenpai. You know, just summon back like a Sword Knight. They can't beat over it. They try to pass, use Sword Knight, summon a guy. Gain a whole lot of advantage. Next, we are playing 2 Berth Fusions. This guy's also really nice. This is the one you're mainly going to be ending on. And it also helps play into Nib really well because you can do Chimera, target a guy, chain this, summon back the Chimera. Also, the dump effect is really nice. In the Fiendsmith build, you could dump like a Sinister Necrom and then do Fiendsmith combo, but when I was playing the deck, by the time I was able to do that, I was always fusion locked by Big Berth because I just didn't open Fiendsmith stuff. And next, finally, 1 Chimera the Illusion Beast. This guy is just insane. Able to attack upwards to 5 times. Depending on the hand, helps clean up games really well too. I wish it had some way to recur itself from the graveyard, other, you know, than Chimera summoning it back. But next, we are playing 2 Guardian Chimeras. There weren't a whole lot of games where I was summoning this during my opponent's turn. There's one game against Snakes where he had he summoned Diabellstar, placed OSS, a Chimera Fusion, popped both. And then his only play was like OSS, grab Ash, normal Ash, and I just Sword Knight negated it. It was really nice to be able to do that, and that was like no other plays at all. And it's also good to make Guardian Chimera during your turn if you need to clean up boards. Next, we are playing 1 Red Eye Shark Dragoon. This card just stops, you know, opponent's plays as well, and paired with Diabels and like the full Chimera board. Dragoon is just really nice to have. You can send stuff to grave, you know, discard a card that you may not need. Like games where I've had like a dead Imperm or something, you can just discard it, you know, pop a guy, or pop a card. Next, the branded package. We're playing 1 Albion, 1 Rinbrum, and 1 Mirror Jade. Albion, obviously using it to make Dragoon. Rinbrum, really good to help unbrick hands that may have a branded fusion with no other starters. because you can use Gazelle, which is a beast, and then Mirror Jade in case, let's say, the Albaz or the Light the Hexial Fusion get banished. You can make this with the Albion effect. And then it's also just really good removal as well, being able to banish something. It could banish like... And then finally, we are playing one Mud Dragon, one Garura, one Dragos Tapelia. There was a game against Snake Eyes where making Mud Dragon allowed me to play around Skill Drain because I had Super Poly in hand. Garura is really nice for some of the hands that are able to make it. There aren't a whole lot, but obviously being able to use like a Snake Eye Ash and a Snake Eyes Poplar to go into this, if your opponent's running out of gas or something. And then Dragos Tapelia is just another negate. Alright, onto the side deck. So we are playing 3 Molcharmy Perulias. These were supposed to be Dogwoods, but the Perulia definitely came up today. Round 3, I was playing against Thunder Dragon Bestial, had double Molcharmy. He attempted to mag banish his Lubellion, summon it. I went Perulia, chain 1, chained Ash. I went chain 2 Perulia, drew Super Poly, and then his end board was Colossus and Desiree. Drew for turn, drew into a hand trap, discarded the hand trap to activate the Super Poly, and I just won from there. There's no way he was winning. Speaking of Bestials, we are playing 1 Mag, 1 Druid. I originally considered playing these in the main. I was playing these in the main when I was on Fiendsmith Fiendsmith Chimera, sorry. And they were nice, but I didn't see them a whole lot. I like these inside. These definitely came up today to... I believe I used one against Melodious player round 1. But they were also just nice, just to have in general, to be able to threaten stuff. Next, we are playing 3 Super Poly. This card was MVP tonight, especially in my round 3 game. Round 3, game 3. Opening this, Super Polying the board away to make Dragos Tapelia. It's just insane. Used up his Desiree to shuffle or send. Yeah. Next, we are playing 3 Cosmic Cyclones. I sided these in a lot, I just didn't see them. The one game where I did see them, I had to use it to special Nightmare Apprentice. But my opponent just wasn't playing. He didn't have any spell traps, so... Well, I could have set this and sent something else. This was, like, the best send, especially since we were really close in time as well. Next, we are playing 3-Dimensional Barrier. This card, another MVP, especially against Tempai. This is strictly here for Tempai hate. It's also good against other decks like Sprite, Call Xyz, Madolche, which I thought I might have seen like one guy there on Madolche, but didn't. Call Xyz, Call Synchro, Voiceless Voice, Call Ritual, just insane card. And then finally, something that my friend Gil, who helped me with this deck, basically, recommended was 1 Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. This deck does struggle a lot against Yubels, especially considering that they can just fuse your board away. They can search Super Poly with Mature Chronicle. So this is just a way to kind of counter that. Being able to fuse their board away, it's really nice. Being able to burn them for time as well.
Did it come up today?
Did not come up today. Didn't play any Yubel, thank God. Did not want to play Yubel at all today. Thankfully I didn't have to, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the deck profile.
Yep, that is the deck. It felt really good to play this. A lot of people are wanting to play like the Fiendsmith stuff, but it's just... I don't think it's worth it.
Gladly, you have 2 friends who talked you out of playing it.
You got any shout-outs, Chuck?
Shout out to Gil and Taylor for telling me not to play Fiendsmith Chimera today. Shout out to Liam and Zach for traveling with us, having a good time. Shout out to Team Math class as well. All those guys there are pretty cool.
Team Fat.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats on the top, buddy. Congrats on your invite.
Thank you, man. I will see you guys in the next vid.